This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we are discussing some very intense things. I'm excited to share these with you. I want you to have success in every single area of life. Abundance. Okay, there's three categories of life: relationships, health, and finance. And you want abundance in all of them. No exception. Okay, all of them need to have abundance. And you start out with relationships. The quality of your life will depend upon the quality of your relationships. Obviously, the quality of your health and money, blah, blah, blah as well. But relationships, if you have that one down and you have fantastic relationships with everyone around you, it's pretty darn difficult to have a lousy life. Okay? If you have to focus on that. You have to get good at it. You have to become a leader. You have to know how to work with people's psychology and lead them to a circumstance where they're happy. Because if you're able to help people to be happy around you, everyone who's around you is happy, guess what? In many ways, we have some femininity and we are environmental creatures to a small little aspect. Okay, even though we're masculine, we're still somewhat feminine as well. Guess what? Our environment, if everyone in our environment are happy because of us, okay, it's going to be extremely easy to be happy as well, okay? The most important relationships that you're ever going to develop are going to be the ones with your women, okay? There's 3 women that I recommend for the optimal family lifestyle. One woman simply doesn't cut it. Okay, I've been married for 13 years. We love each other to death, okay? We were there for each other, we're supporting each other, and we're going to stick through it for the rest of our lives. But we recognize quite early on that it's just not sufficient to just be you and me. And there's so many obstacles. And if you don't know what those obstacles are, I highly recommend that you check out the Women of High Value channel and educate yourself on why monogamy simply is not the optimal family structure. So we need to replace it with something. This is my life's mission, to actually make 3 in love, as we call it, mainstream, so that everyone knows about it and everyone has the opportunity to live that lifestyle if they so choose. If you understand these principles, you will recognize that, oh yeah, dang, that is the optimal family lifestyle. Welcome. Those 3 women that you choose is going to be the most important decision you make in your life, which means that studying 3 in love and understanding that lifestyle is the most important thing that you can ever do in your entire life. The most important thing, okay? It's not who you choose to be with, but choosing which lifestyle to have and then choosing who you're going to be with, okay? And I recommend 3, but do not do it without being part of Men of High Value. Do not do it without understanding the principles that actually make it work, okay? Because there's so many different ways that it can actually be not work for you if you don't understand the basics and the foundations and the principles that are needed to be learned, right? But if you have those relationships working for you in the principles that we teach, that function, okay? Yes, I don't have 3 in love yet, but that's because we're building a foundation. We want to make sure that every single family unit that is started in the Men of High Value inner circle, that it'll work. Okay, we don't want let's try it out and fail. No, we're talking about family here. We're talking about love lives here. We're talking about hearts, okay? We don't want to break hearts, and that's why it's crucial that we do these things the right way in the right order. And it's not time yet. Maybe next year, next summer, the year after that, who knows? We're going to eventually get there, but it's just not time yet. So it's just me, my wife, my 3 kids, blah, blah, blah. But eventually we're going to get there, and there's several of my other clients that actually are on their way to getting there too. Most of the time right now, it's simply we're building up our financials and getting exponential growth, and it's exciting. Having said that, imagine having 3 beautiful women that are loyal, that actually worship you, that actually are attracted to you, that want to be with you all the time, but they can't because you're actually out there working the vast majority of the time. So when you do come home, they're like at the door, excited to see you, jump on you, kiss you, and they want you, okay, we have dinner ready for you, the house is cleared and ready, and the kids are behaved because we've actually given them attention today. We don't neglect our kids. We don't send them off to a public school where they get bullied and teased and have to learn useless stuff that's unnecessary. they've actually enjoyed their day and done fun stuff with their mothers, okay? Like, this is how it's supposed to look like. You can have that. You, okay? And it really only depends on you understanding the principles that make that work. But this is one aspect of success. This is one category of life, but it is the most important category of life. And all the other things that we're setting up is for this reason. And then to make sure that other people have the opportunity to get the same lifestyle. Because if we are in our small little heaven on earth at home, is great. But we want to get to the point where everyone out there also have an amazing family structure and lifestyle. Why? Because hurt people hurt people. And so if we're the only ones that have the truth, okay, that of how things work and how things can be optimal, then other people will be hurting, which means that they actually have the potential of hurting us, which means that we don't give our women and our children the proper security that they deserve. Okay, so as a masculine man, we have to think big and make sure that we solve all of the world's problems, and I'm going to discuss that a little bit more in depth over time on this channel, but also throughout this video. So, your women, they need to love you, and so you need to understand how that works. We teach that. Other than that, you want to make sure that your kids have fantastic relationships with you from day one. This happens almost naturally if your women are attracted to you. Very often in monogamy, the woman doesn't really like you that much, and so she's bitching at you continuously, which causes the kids to look at their dad and be like, I don't really want to be like my dad. Like, he doesn't really have the best of lifestyles, and his woman doesn't even like him. Like, that's not cool, right? And so this is preparing for that, so that your kids can have a fantastic relationship with you, with all of the kids, not just with one or two. You want to have great relationships with all of them, right? And we've got the principles for that. And then not only those relationships, but you also want to have fantastic relationships with other families and build up clans, okay? We're going to have a Men of High Value clan, and in many ways we already do. You should be a part of that. It's awesome. Imagine a brotherhood of men that are backing each other up in war times and in peace times, supporting each other and basically ride or die together throughout their entire lives. Obviously, you can't have too many families, right? There's going to be, in Men of High Value, there's going to be an inner circle family, like an inner circle amount of families. Maybe that's 8, 10, 18, 20, 50 families or something, but they're all interacting a lot with each other. And then there's going to be other clans that are also part of Men of High Value that are going to have their own cliques, but they're going to be living the same principles and enjoying life, but just scattered because of, location or etc. Imagine having that type of brotherhood where everyone can participate in gathering resources and do what's necessary to exponentially grow each other's lives. I'm excited about that. Secondly, in terms of health, health and fitness, you want massive abundance in that. Obviously, this is not, if you're healthy in your teens and in your 20s, this is not what you should be focusing on. You should maintain it, but you should be focusing on the money first. You should procrastinate the relationships, procrastinate the kids, but develop a network of men and start making a bunch of money. This is your priority. This is what you should be focused on, and the health and aspect in relationships can be a little bit on the back burner, but you're kind of maintaining it as you go. On the health and fitness aspect, though, at one point in time, there is no excuse at all for you to not have a Greek god body, as I call it. Okay, you need to be looking fantastic. There's no exception to the rule. You should have that. But it comes at a different point in time. Why do you want that? Because you want to be able to live as long as possible. If we actually begin to figure out the scientific aspects of living, immortally, you want to be part of that, right? But not only this, you want to be able to enjoy the mobility and the stamina of doing whatever it is that you want to do throughout your life. Also, when you get great-great-great-grandkids, don't you want to be able to play with them and keep up with them? That's why you need your health and fitness to be on point. And the more money you got, the more you can spend on your health and fitness. LeBron James has been said that he spends $1 million a year on his health and fitness. Now, obviously, he's an athlete, but why shouldn't you be an athlete? Not a professional athlete, but an athlete in your own right because of the way that you take care of your body, if that makes sense. And at some point, you actually can spend $1 million a year on that because you got your priorities straight. You got the money aspect first. Having said that, the most important, biggest priority that you've got is to set yourself up in your foundational years with your financial situation. You want to develop that part of your life now. That cannot be procrastinated. You have no idea how important it is to have money, to have resources, so that you're able to say yes in the future when your women and your kids want something that is worthwhile and meaningful to them, and it actually will bless their lives and develop their talents and hobbies. Imagine continuously saying no. I've had years of that. It was a horrible struggle. I don't want that ever again, okay? And I don't want that for you ever. You don't have to go through that if you actually set up your priorities straight from the get-go, right? It starts with having a massive work ethic, focusing on business, focusing on making money, but also creating the business of your life that is going to be what I call your Amazon. Jeff Bezos found his business, and he's been working on his business for the last flipping 30 years. How about you, right? What will be the business model that you work on for 30 flipping years? Imagine how huge that's going to be if it's your own business. Don't get stuck in a job for 30 years. Build a business for 30 years and look at how it looks like after those 30 years, okay? That's what I want to teach you to do. That's what I want to help you to do. That's what I'm encouraging all men of high value to do. And this is why I titled this video, What is the next step for you, right? The next step for you is, if you want all of this, you can have all of it. Your success is 100% guaranteed if you actually follow the correct principles, the universal laws that have been put in place for you to actually get abundance and success in whatever category of life you desire. And it's all of them, right? You can have that. But the next step is for you to DM me, okay? Send me a direct message on Instagram at Men of High Value. There's several of you guys that don't have Instagram. Oh, because I don't want to waste time on social media and be stuck scrolling. Okay, it is right now the best communication app that we've got. I'm on there. I'm texting 100 people every single day right now. Maybe in the future I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have the capacity to be doing that. Right now you have the opportunity of communicating directly with me. How insane is that? And what am I going to do once you DM me? Well, let's figure out your situation. Let's figure out your priorities. Let's figure out what your next step is after that, right? But your next step is get off the YouTube platform, unless you're going to watch more of my videos to be like, do I really want to DM this guy? Figure it out if you want to DM me, and then actually do that. Send me a direct message and say, Joseph, I saw your video. I liked it. I want success in every single area of my life. What do I do? What's my next step? Ask me that question, okay? It depends on your situation most probably, right? Some of you guys are rich already and want to, I want to start a 3-in-love family. What's my next step? Great. Let's talk about it. Some of you guys are in school right now. What's your next step? Maybe it's probably quitting school, all right? Some of you guys actually are unemployed, are doing nothing. What's your next step? I know what your next step is. And if you actually take the time to communicate with me, we can make things happen. There's one thing that most people don't do, and it's to communicate. That's how relationships are built. You want a relationship with me? You can actually have that. In the future, I'm not going to be able to have a direct relationship with everyone who's my subscriber. Do you know that 1 out of 400 of my subscribers currently right now are one of my clients? 1 out of 400. It's insane. It's like 0.25% of everyone who's a subscriber to me actually are a client of mine that I communicate with on a continual basis to help their life situation. and to exponentially move them towards financial freedom and all the other stuff that I've told you here today. Dang, I'm so excited for you. Like, you have success at your fingertips. You literally can move towards it one step at a time, and it doesn't cost you anything at this point in time to DM me, right? I'm going to pitch you, of course, like if you want to be part of Men of High Value and to see if you're fit and, and to see if we have like-minded values, and if you're thinking huge like me, right? And like us and the entire network. Like, if you do though, oh my gosh, like, I want you on this team. I want you to participate. Right now, you could either become a client, you could either just become part of the group. We have a program for that. And then that is a bit cheaper than working with me directly. But why wouldn't you want to work directly with me right now in the beginning of your life, or in the beginning of this movement towards 3 in love, right? And not only that, but we have access to resources that you cannot get anywhere else. And I want to share that with you. On YouTube, you'll just find generalized information. This is not sufficient for your long-term growth and happiness, okay? We need to collaborate. We need to work together on projects. We need to bring solutions to world problems to light, and that we can only do together. I'm excited to participate with you. Over time, we're going to create exponential growth. What we're going to do with Men of High Value, you don't know that yet, but I know that this is going to be the world's most powerful, the best coaching program system in the world for personal development and helping people to get to abundance in their lives. I want to help people get there the fastest. I want to help people to get there with the best documentation. I want to help people to get there with the best case studies. I want people to have the best relationships that they could ever get. We're not one-minded, funneled, vision focused on just money here. We want it all. And the cool part is that you can. DM me at Men of High Value. That's the only account I use where I DM people. Straightforward, Men of High Value. Looking forward to seeing you there. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you guys in the next one.